Next one is from. Who's next? A forgotten name. It's from John Roddy, and the subject is Sonny Kiss. I just finished All In and it was mostly packed with multiple person matches, not assuming gender for reasons you'll find out. It really showed us this crazy stacked the AEW roster is, but at the same time, what made it even crazier was the sheer amount of contracted AEW talent who weren't there. That's to be what, 30, 50 contracted AEW names not there? My question for K100 is, why is Sonny Kiss still under contract at AEW? When's the last time Sonny was on TV? Has Sonny Kiss ever had an angle, a storyline, or even a feud? And during the entire existence of AEW? And why is Sonny still under contract with someone like Brian Pillman Jr. was released? I think Brian Pillman Jr. asked to be released. But bro, Tony just signs all these guys. I mean, like he's not. Obviously, the money isn't a big deal to him because WWE would be like how many talent on that show, Konnan, have you watched over a month period of time that you say, okay, what is this guy making? If we cut this guy, like if you could trim $3 million off your salary, okay, which shouldn't be that difficult to do at this company. Are there like could you easily do that at AEW if everybody's making six figures there? By the way, I think the minimum contract is $100,000.
No, they have lower contracts than that.
They do have lower contracts than that. I was told that if you get signed full time, you're making six figures. That's not true.
That could be true, but I know people that are not making six figures.
Okay. You're scratching a little bit. Your mic there, Konnan. If you could just pull it away just a little. Yeah.
They might not be under full-time contracts, right? So I didn't ask the particulars.
Konnan, you're rubbing your beard is rubbing against your mic.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he should be good now. Yeah, he should be good now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no,
you're cool. You're all good. I don't know why Sonny Kiss is still under contract exactly for why the guy said the reasons, not on TV, not used. What are you going to do with them, or what are you going to do with them?
I can tell you 1,000,000% why he's on TV. And number one, he did have a storyline because when AEW first started, he was in a storyline, and then later he was in another one with Janela. Okay, so the reason you have somebody like Sonny Kiss is because in our America and everybody has to be the same, and woke culture and all this, everything from Pizza Hut, the Google, the football teams, and every movies, you gotta have an LGBTQ character, you gotta have a brother, you have the Latino diversity and other, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is.
Well, let me say this. I don't know if this
remember when people were complaining when you were telling me that, right? Remember when you were complaining to me, Disco, that, and I think it was that Will Washington guy that was like, yeah, African Americans only had so many time on TV.
Right, yeah, right.
Like all the brothers piling on. Yeah, that's right. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, let me make this point, and maybe this is something to do with it, okay? Is that Sonny Kiss, by his own creativity, is portraying himself as a very flamboyantly character.
Right.
And like if you're a channel surfer and you're watching that, you might be offended at the way professional wrestling is portraying like this. Like you're thinking like, wow, I don't want to. They don't act like that. Like this guy's acting flamboyantly, like almost like a parody of a gay character, you know?
Yeah, but he's doing a character which I'm sure he's not going to make a.
I don't think he's doing a character.
I would think. Well, then that's how he really is. What's the problem?
I've seen this guy backstage before. Okay, and he's like, hey, he's kind of very flamboyantly.
Right.
Which is fine, but it's like if you're putting that on TV, if you put that on TV, that's almost like a stereotype, a negative trope of a character. Could be people could perceive it that way, is what I'm saying.
They could, but I think most people perceive it as this is an act and it's a good act or it's a bad act. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe people.
But I think, bro, at the end of the day, if you're doing something with a company that's like we have exóticos on our roster, the gay characters, but in Mexican they call it exóticos. There ain't a lot of brothers in Mexico, but we brought in Rich Swann a lot, Willie Max there a lot, but we make sure that we, women are not demeaned, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like we check all the boxes for corporate sponsors, women, exóticos, women aren't being bashed or belittled, all the not too much blood.
Plus,
and that's what gets us our sponsors.
And obviously, plus, there's an obviously different climate in Mexico where it's definitely not as PC as they are here. Like, you have the police patrol that are looking at that's offensive to to people in Mexico. Like, hey, this is our culture. Has been around for years. Like, lucha libre wrestling is ingrained in culture, and the Exoticos have been around for years. We're not going to have a bunch of Gen Zers come in and say that's offensive.
I'll give you an example. ADR, Marty Scurll, just to say two names, have mega heat in the U.S. Mega.
Right.
They have zero heat in Mexico.
Right. Because they don't judge as much in Mexico. It's more.
Yeah, they're like, bro, we all, did he go to jail? No, he didn't. Okay, so what are we talking about?
Right.
Punishing a guy because you're mad at him at something that you didn't even see?
Right.
Get out of here, bro. That's the beautiful thing about that country. That's like their mindset.
Plus, when Ryan Pillman there, I want to give kudos to the K100 news team, because it was reported on K100 last week that Brian Pillman signed with NXT, and now it's popping up on all the sites 5-6 hours ago. Brian Pillman signed with NXT, but we were first.
That's great.
Yeah, Joe came
Brian,
up
let me tell you what Brian Pillman needs to do. Brian Pillman could be a huge star instantly in the WWE if he does what his dad was going to do. Somehow figures a way to change himself to the goalpost to win the Super Bowl. If he can pull that off, he's immediately a huge star. He's immediately all over mainstream television and news. He's immediately I would do that.
Okay, listen, to what what you just said, because I would have never thought of that. That shows how way ahead of his time and how brilliant Brian Pillman was.
Brilliant,
because he thought of that idea over 20 years ago.
And he got mad.
And I was like, what a great idea.
That's it. It's we got to bring Madden on and tell that story in detail again, because that conversation is hysterical. Because when he tried to get Madden to
give his press pass,
he wanted Madden to give him his press pass. He could do it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Like, Madden would lose his job, but it's like, you got to make sacrifices, Madden. All right. Next is
how great was Brian, right?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!